Our community knows no boundaries. We are not confined by the physical limits of walls, or for that matter, of what often binds us, restricts us, and holds us back. We are freer than we know when we release ourselves and each other from expectations of what is needed for true community. We are here together in space. I see you. I hear you. I love you. And we light this chalice as a beacon of this community, holding us all together, here, now.
Con espíritu de reverencia, reconocemos que nos juntamos esta mañana en la tierra de los Kumeyaay, quienes continúan viviendo en todo su territorio. Al emprender este viaje juntos, mantengamos en nuestros corazones y mentes el pueblo Kumeyaay. In a spirit of reverence, we acknowledge that we gather this morning on the land of the Kumeyaay, who continue to live throughout their territories. May the light of this candle shine for our commitment to the Kumeyaay people and to justice and equity for Indigenous people everywhere.
Our gathering hymn this morning is a new song that some of you may be familiar with if you attended or watched online General Assembly this year. It's from a new virtual hymnal that the UUA has put out. So we're excited to debut not just this song here at First UU, but one of the songs from the virtual hymnal that we will continue to use throughout the year. And we're excited to have this new tool to help us worship together. So I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join me in singing Joy in the Morning.
Good morning and welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Diego, where we worship each Sunday in the South Bay, in Hillcrest, and online. Our mission is to create community, nurture spiritual growth, and act on our values to help heal the world. I am Bob Nolan. I use the pronouns he, him, his, and I am serving as a worship associate this morning. If you are visiting, I want to extend a special welcome. We invite you to fill out the visitor card in your order of service and return it to the welcome table. If you are joining us online, you can also fill out a visitor card at the link on the live stream page or in the YouTube service description. We would love to connect with you. If you have been coming for a while and are starting to feel like this is your spiritual home, consider becoming a member of this beloved community. You can learn more about becoming a member at the welcome table or by contacting Valeria Aguilar, our membership coordinator.
Welcome to this space. Bring all of who you are. In all the beauty of languages, cultures, and skin tones that come together in your uniqueness, you are welcome here. In all the ways you experience and express gender, you are welcome here. In the beauty that is who you love and how you love, you are welcome here. In all the ways you live, move, and experience your embodied self, you are welcome here. With all of the religious and ethical traditions that inform your spiritual life, you are welcome here. Join us as we live into our shared values with love at the center. We are so glad you're here. I invite you again to rise in body or spirit and join in singing our church hymn and reciting our church aspiration. And good morning again, friends. I'd like to invite any of the children or youth who would like to come up and join me for a time for all ages. Any takers? Okay. Well, I'm going to read you a story this morning. Oh, wait a minute. I see movement. Oh, yay. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, hi. So, friends, this morning, we're thinking about community and different ways that we can reclaim or make new again for ourselves and other people community. And I think some people find it really easy to just fit into a group and show up, and they're just part of the community really easily. And other people find it a little more challenging. And sometimes that's stuff that we can work through ourselves, and sometimes it's stuff that the community does that makes it a little hard to be a part of. And so this story today, called Elmer, is a story about community and how one elephant really works hard to try and fit in when initially he feels like he doesn't. You read it before at school? Oh, cool. So you'll be our expert today. So this is Elmer. There was once a herd of elephants. Elephants young, elephants old, elephants tall and short, fat and thin. All were different, but all were happy, and almost all were the same color. All except Elmer. Elmer was not elephant color. He was patchwork. Elmer was yellow and orange and red and pink and purple and blue and green and black and white. It was Elmer who kept the other elephants happy. Their games and jokes were always his idea. If an elephant was laughing, the cause was usually Elmer. But Elmer himself wasn't happy. Who ever heard of a patchwork elephant, he thought. No wonder they laugh at me. One morning, just as the others were waking up, Elmer slipped away. As he walked through the jungle, Elmer met other animals. "Good morning, Elmer," they said. After a long walk, Elmer found what he was looking for, a large brush covered with elephant-colored berries. Elmer caught hold of the bush and shook it until the berries fell to the ground. Then, Elmer lay down and rolled over the berries this way and that. He picked up bunches of berries and rubbed himself all over until he was covered with berry juice. When he had finished, there wasn't a sign of any yellow or orange or red or pink or purple or blue or green or black or white. Elmer looked like any other elephant. On his way back through the jungle, Elmer passed the other animals. "Good morning, elephant," they said. When Elmer rejoined the herd, none of the other elephants noticed him. As he stood there, Elmer felt that something was wrong. But what? He looked around. Same old jungle, same old blue sky, same old rain cloud, same old elephants. The other elephants were standing absolutely still, silent and serious. Elmer had never seen them so serious before. It made him want to laugh. Finally, he could bear it no longer. He lifted his trunk and at the top of his voice shouted, "Boo!" The other elephants jumped in surprise. Elmer was helpless with laughter. Then the others began to laugh. "Too bad Elmer isn't here to share the fun," they said, laughing harder and harder. And then the rain cloud burst. When the rain fell on Elmer, his patchwork started to show again. "Oh, Elmer," gasped an old elephant as Elmer was washed back to normal, "you've played some good jokes, but this one has been the biggest laugh of them all. What would we do without you?" "We must celebrate this day every year," said another, "the day of Elmer's best joke. All of us elephants will decorate ourselves in his honor," said a third, "and Elmer will decorate himself elephant color. And one day each year, the elephants color themselves yellow or orange or red or pink or purple or blue or green or black or white and have a parade. If you happen to see an elephant in the Elmer's Day parade who is an ordinary elephant color, you know it must be Elmer." The end. Yeah, I like that story. We use that story almost every year at South Bay Pride. It's very cool. And then we have people color in some the psychedelic elephants, just like you see on the screen. So, just like in the story, friends, I think sometimes we can step out of ourselves and be part of a community, sort of push ourselves to go a little further, to join in. And sometimes as the community, I think we need to think a little bit harder about what other people might be feeling, even if it's not obvious on the outside. We might think we're being welcoming, but we want to think a little more deeply about that and really question ourselves to see if we really are. So friends, I hope you'll help me. Up here, we're going to stand up and we'll lead the congregation in our affirmation. We'll say it first in English and then in Spanish. We are Unitarian Universalists, a people of open minds, loving hearts, and welcoming hands. Somos unitarios universalistas, personas de mentes abiertas, corazones amorosos y manos que dan la bienvenida. And now I invite you all to go that way, and you're going to join your leaders to go to your RE groups, and I'm going to stay up here. But I'll see you later.
I am Susan Bond, a member of the Welcoming and Membership Committee, and these are the announcements for today. Lay ministers are available after the service to offer a listening presence. If you have a joy or sorrow you would like to share, this morning's lay minister is Michael. If you would like to learn more about us and see some of the many gems of our campus, I encourage you to take the campus tour. Immediately, immediately after the service today, you can meet Matt Kaplan. There he is, right up here, and he will be your expert guide.
One way we live our values each Sunday is by sharing our offering with an organization working for justice. Throughout the months of July and August, our offering is being received in support of the Pink Haven Coalition. Pink Haven is a collective of organizations and individuals who are committed to trans liberation and to growing alternative systems of care for gender diverse people. They are working together to create networks of safety and direct support for all of those who need to relocate, access healthcare across state lines, or stay as safe as possible where they are. You can give through text to give at 619-333-3040. You can also donate this morning in person through cash or check towards the back of the sanctuary or online at the church's website, firstuusandiego.org. Thank you for your generosity. This morning's offering will now be gratefully received.
I'm back. This June, I celebrated my second year of being an official member of First UU. My journey towards membership at First UU actually began in 2020. In January of 2020, my husband and best friend of 40 years passed away. We had his celebration of life in February, and then in March, the world shut down due to the pandemic. I was alone with my dog, searching for a way to connect with others. I had been Unitarian Universalist curious for a while, but I wasn't sure how it would fit in with my Buddhist practice. I began watching the live streams of the service at home, and over the course of several months, I came to realize that you are my people. When the campus opened up again, I felt called to attend in person. Even so, my heart had been broken by the loss of my husband, and it did take courage to open it up to new possibilities. As I began to attend, I always found inspiration in the Sunday services and in being part of the choir. Both things fed my soul. But after the services, I often felt lost. No one approached to say hello. There were no welcoming overtures, and it was left to me to try to initiate connection. After listening to sermons and singing about love and inclusion, I often felt excluded. Then one Sunday, I was saved. And I tell this story because I want to make the point that one person can make all the difference. A visiting minister had us stand up and walk around to greet each other. And I had the good fortune to meet Betsy Stevens, my first true UU friend. She was not only warm and friendly, she invited me to have coffee with her, and more than once. I learned so much from her about church history and about how things work at the UU. I am blessed to still have her friendship these 3 years later. Another thing that helped me make connections was to become a part of some smaller groups. One of the first groups I attended was Women Together, a group that meets once a month. That group provides an opportunity for deep connection and friendship through the sharing of our stories. We also laugh a lot and have snacks. I'm also in a wisdom circle, which I mistakenly thought were groups for elite advanced practitioners. It turns out they are small groups for anyone who wants to share and listen deeply to others share on a topic related to our spiritual growth with provided resources. I also had the opportunity last year to help lead an animal blessing service as part of the animal ministry group. And I'm still a member of the chalice choir. Yay, altos. And when the opportunity came to be part of the Welcome and Membership Committee under the guidance of Valeria, Reverend Justine, and Reverend Kristen, I wanted to join to help make sure others feel this is a welcoming space for all. You can find me at the welcome table one Sunday a month on behalf of that effort. Please stop and say hello. It occurred to us that perhaps some UUers might benefit from suggestions on how to approach someone who you don't have a connection with. We found it helpful to engage in some role playing. We have prepared a demonstration for you that we hope will be useful. Remember, one person can make a difference, and it could be you.
Stuff we've been working on the membership committee.
Oh, yeah.
Here's somebody I haven't met. Hi, I don't think I've met you. My name is Steve.
My name is Boone. I'm new here. I just shoulder. This is my first day here.
Oh, well, welcome.
Hi, Boone. My name's Valeria. I'm the membership coordinator for the church.
Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
Did you enjoy the service?
It was great. It was awesome. I was able to kind of connect in a way, but I wanted to learn more about it. Can you share a little bit about First UU?
Well, a couple of things. One is I think our mission statement is really the best mission statement I've ever heard. It's to build community, to nurture spiritual growth, and to act on our values to help heal the world. That's really important. But what holds us together really is our beliefs, our values, more than what we believe. And one of those beliefs is interdependence. And that's kind of what the sermon was about today. We depend on each other. And so I hope you'll feel welcome here.
Would you like to go grab a coffee?
Yes, sure. I have an additional question that I'm thinking about. Is I have friends who kind of raised from a Buddhist standpoint. Is there a way that they can come here as well? And they also have children. Is there some kind of...
Of course, we welcome people of all faith backgrounds, and we offer religious education for children.
Awesome, that's very interesting. And so it's about self-discovery and maybe community support.
That's exactly right.
We hope so, yes.
Also, I want to stay informed if any other opportunities come up. How can I stay informed?
Oh, I'll take you to the welcome table and help you fill out a visitor form so you can get updates from the window, which is our monthly newsletter.
That sounds great. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm going to go off script a little bit and point out two things that I thought were really important, actually maybe three things, in what just happened. One is Steve's first statement is, I don't think I've met you yet. Right? He didn't say, are you new here? He kept it to himself and just sort of stated a fact. I don't think I've met you yet. The next question was about the service, something that they all know that they just shared in common, right? So they didn't talk about sort of aspects of each other's personality or where they're from or what they're, what they do. They talked about something that they knew they shared in common. That's really critical and keeps it in a connected level. And the last thing that I'll point out is that invitation to deeper community. Even if it's just, let's go have a coffee, or let me take you to the welcome table. So just three things I wanted to highlight from that I think are really good phrases and ideas to have in your back pocket, if you will, as you meet new people on the patio. We invite you now into a time of contemplation and singing. In between singing verses of We Are a Gentle, Angry People, Valeria will offer words taken from our purposes and covenant, also known as Article 2. As we hear these words that define our shared values, I invite you to consider how those values show up in our individual lives and in the life of our congregation. You can join in singing each verse with the choir in between the spoken word, or you may choose to use this time to just listen and reflect.
We value equity. We declare that every person has the right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. We value generosity. We freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. We value justice. We work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all thrive, and covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression. We value transformation. We adapt to a changing world and covenant to grow spiritually and ethically. We value interdependence. We honor the interdependent web of all existence, and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. We value pluralism. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values.
Over 38 years, I taught more than 30,000 students as a university faculty member. Early in my teaching career, I decided to teach all my classes every semester by means of discussion, not lecture, and by means of related forms of active and interactive learning. Teaching this way required that students feel sufficiently welcome to engage. What I quickly learned is making students feel welcome is a continuously ongoing process and a continuously ongoing challenge. I could never assume I would take care of this once and for all by any single point in any semester. And I could never assume that what worked with any one class would work with any other. Every class represented a unique constellation of backgrounds, identities, outlooks, experiences, preparations, interests, motivations, personalities, and temperaments. What's more, every individual in every class, just like all of us, was multiple, complex, contradictory, and dynamic in and of themselves. I needed to win students' trust over and over again. In doing so, many specific practices proved helpful. For example, making clear repeatedly that I was always looking for 3 things above all else. 1, students learn something of significant value and demonstrate to me that they are doing so. 2, students work hard and aim seriously to learn and demonstrate to me that they are doing so. And 3, students learn something of significant value they will be able to make productive use of after and beyond the time we spend together as a class and demonstrate to me they will be able to do so. For example, making use of extensive introductions of everyone to everyone else at the start of each class, each semester, while encouraging students to continue to share their interests and passions with the rest of us throughout the semester. For example, rearranging classroom seating so everyone could always see and speak directly to everyone else. For example, using large placards so everyone could always refer to everyone else by name or by what they would prefer to be called. For example, making use of creative exercises in small groups designed to enable students to test out and apply concepts they were newly learning as they were learning these same concepts. For example, requiring weekly check-ins where each student shared in confidence with me each week how they were doing in our class and otherwise, and where I responded to what every single student shared with me every single week. For example, not planning precisely how I would organize and conduct any specific class session until the immediately preceding class session had finished, and at most, a week at a time, enabling me to make sure what we did when we met together responded to where students were at and what they needed right at that point in the semester. For example, designing every paper assignment to offer multiple options as well as additional extra credit options. For example, frequently making use of learning and contribution reflection papers where students reported and reflected on what they were learning, how and why, as well as how, along with how well, they were contributing to their own and to others' learning. For example, making use of a final examination assignment asking each student to prepare and share orally with the rest of the class a 5 minutes long statement of what were their foremost beliefs and what they considered most important, as well as why so. For example, making use of a final project assignment involving students working over the last 4.5 weeks of the semester in 3 separate teams to compose, produce, rehearse, and ultimately perform 35 minutes long plays based upon and inspired by plays we had previously read and discussed together as a class. For example, continually pushing students to explore connections between each text and topic we took on and other, especially prior knowledge they maintained, as well as with their personal experience. But what mattered more than any specific practice was my commitment to keep striving to make students feel welcome and to never assume this work was over and done with once and for all. What insights might we derive from this experience of mine? First, welcome is a continuously ongoing process and a continuously ongoing challenge. It doesn't happen once, and that is it. We need to welcome, and we need to be welcomed over and over again. 2, welcome is hard work. Because we live in a society that is and long has been unwelcoming, and in fact is becoming all the more unwelcoming at present, many of us are hurt and damaged as a result. This includes in our ability to extend as well as receive welcome. We are often wary and defensive, reluctant to trust, even when not conscious of being so. 3rd, people are more and other than they initially seem. People are not simple composites of a few basic, superficially apparent facts. Much of what is most interesting about people is not what they immediately share with those they're just meeting. It takes time and effort to get to know people. But the better we get to know people, the more they are likely to feel welcome, and we to feel welcoming. 4th, people want and need to feel welcome, but this means different things and takes different forms for different people. People need to make connections between what we are doing and where they are coming from and what they are about. That is, with their backgrounds, identities, outlooks, interests, experiences, and passions. They need to access ways of participating and contributing that enable them to feel like they matter here, that we want and need them here, and that we are blessed by what they bring with them, what they have to offer, and what they have to share. You are undoubtedly familiar with the adage, don't assume, or you risk making, you know. But as I told my students, making assumptions is inevitable. Key is what assumptions we make, whether we critically examine our assumptions, and whether, as far as possible, we consciously choose our assumptions. Let's assume we do not necessarily recognize, let alone know, all of what is most interesting and important about even those here who we have known for a long time. Let's assume we don't necessarily recognize, let alone know precisely how even others here we have known for a long time are changing, or precisely what is most concerning to them at present. If we can do this with people we have long known, we can do the same with people who are new to us. Let's assume these new people are wonderful in ways we will learn and that we want to learn. Let's assume these new people are coming here because they want to feel welcome and included, but don't necessarily feel this way and haven't necessarily felt this way elsewhere and otherwise. Let's assume they may have felt frustrated in encounters with ostensibly welcoming groups, and let's assume they may well, for a host of reasons, feel alienated, insecure, frightened, lonely, and yes, wary and defensive. And let's assume that we don't necessarily have a lot of time to convince them to give us a try. How do we confront such challenges? I have no easy answer, but I suggest keeping these challenges in mind while being aware of our own experiences of feeling unwelcome, of feeling alienated, insecure, frightened, lonely, wary, and defensive, and of our own longing for so much better than that. If we do so, we may begin to recognize the people we meet here and aim to welcome here as the multiple, complex, contradictory, and dynamic beings they are. And we may begin to delight in what that multiplicity, complexity, contradictoriness, and dynamism can yet mean for us. Thank you.
I just want to invite you all to have a conversation with someone new today after service. Say hi, ask them how their morning's going and what they thought of the service today. And for next Sunday, sit with someone new. You are what makes this community great. And welcoming is hard, and it can be hard, but we won't learn to make it better unless we start. So thank you.
I invite you now again to rise in body or spirit and join with me in singing our closing hymn, Come and Go With Me.
There'll be justice and singing and friendship in that land, in this land, where we go, which is out in the patio.